Today I want to talk about my experience using a bone conduction headphone and how my very first bone conduction headphone died on me. Hey, what's up guys, welcome to Alan Gadgets. This is my very first bone conduction headphone from Aftershokz, recently rebranded to just Shokz, and this is their 8th generation headphone. This model was called the Aeropex and also renamed to OpenRun. The main difference between a bone conduction headphone and a regular headphone is that a bone conduction headphone uses vibration that it sends through your bone into your eardrum, whereas a regular headphone sends sound wave right into your eardrum through the air. Such headphone doesn't cover the opening of your ears, so it allows other sound to go into your ears while you're enjoying your music. It's very suitable for activities like jogging, hiking or cycling, where you're able to listen to your environment and watch out for potential hazard and danger. I've started using such headphone for my cycling activities for more than 2 years and it just died on me. It's mainly my fault because I forgot to turn it off after I reached home and left it on connected to the phone, so it just burned out its battery flat. I didn't realize that after I want to use it again for another activity, when I try to switch it on, it doesn't, so I thought the battery was just flat, and upon trying to recharge it, the LED doesn't light up, it doesn't get charged. So that's when I certified that the battery is dead, and since it's after 2 years warranty, I can't do anything about it. So as a word of advice and warning, please do not forget to turn it off after using, and do not let the battery run flat. And I went on to do a research to find a replacement for my bone conductor headphone, and to my surprise, my favorite manufacturer and brand, Creative, actually came up with their very first bone conduction headphone. So this is Creative very first bone conduction headphone. I myself is a big fan of Creative. I use a lot of their gaming soundbar and such. So when I found out that they have their first bone conduction headphone and at a price less than that of a Shokz, I jump at it, no question asked. There's 3 things that I look at closely regarding the choice of such headphone. First and most important is it must be comfortable. The material and the design must fit my ears for prolonged usage in terms of comfort. For number 2 is I need it to have a long running battery life, long enough for my activity. The longest activity I have can goes up to 8 or 12 hours. You don't have to be a straight 8 to 12 hours running time, because there are times where I'm taking a break or having a meal. During those times, I usually turn off my headphone. And third of all, the least important would be the sound quality. So now to compare these two up against those 3 criteria. So for criteria number 1, in terms of comfort, I've been using this Shokz headphone for all my activities for the past 2 years. I almost never felt the urge or the need to remove the headphone from my ears during the 10 hours activity, even though there's a lot of sweat and heat going on. I really like the design and the material used. I felt no abrasion on the skin or anything. And as for the Creative headphone, I only use it for one long activity during my coast-to-coast walk. This is very uncomfortable for my ears. It rubbed against my skin, causing some abrasion. I have to take it off constantly to let my skin breathe. So the material and the design is not really comfortable for me. So number 2, battery life. I've been using this for 10 hours to 12 hours activity. I think in between there is at least 8 hours of usage. This is rated 8 hours battery life on paper, but at the end of my 10 hours activity, it didn't even give me a critical battery level warning. So in terms of battery life, I'm very satisfied with Shokz and it never let me down. I didn't have to recharge midway in my activity. But I can't say the same for Creative headphone. During the 12 hours coast-to-coast walk, I think it died off like 5 hours into the activity. It's rated 10 hours on paper, but it felt like 6 hours at most. Number 3, sound quality. It's not fair to compare it to a regular headphone, but this is really good enough. The bass is good enough, so no complaint there. As for the Creative headphone, well, it's not bad, but as compared to Shokz, it's just a little bit disappointing in terms of the audio quality from a company that I loved about their audio quality products. But then again, this is Shokz 8th generation headphone, whereas the Creative is only having their 1st generation. They have a lot of room to improve, so I'll cut them some slack and give them leeway for improvement, especially when it is at such a attractive low pricing as compared to the Shokz headphone. Well, I can live with the poor audio quality, but what I can't live with is the discomfort that I get on my ears, and the battery lifespan is too short. So again, I went out to look for another replacement, and after much research, I went back to Shokz. And this is their 9th gen headphone called the OpenRun Pro. And this inherited most of the quality that I enjoyed from the 8th gen OpenRun. So the next question is, if you have already an 8th gen OpenRun headphone, should you consider upgrading to the 9th gen OpenRun Pro headphone? My answer would be no. Noticeable improvement, but not significant or substantial enough for an upgrade. If you currently own a Gen 8 OpenRun headphone and you're enjoying it, nothing's wrong with it, the battery's fine, keep using it. But if your Gen 8 headphone died on you, or you're looking for your very first bone conduction headphone, I would consider going for the 9th gen. So that's all I have on the bone conduction headphone. If you find this video interesting or beneficial in any way, do click on the like button and share. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, send some love to the counter over there, and don't forget to click on the bell button for future notification, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye!